just a middle-aged anime guy. Hame, and water breathing. Alright guys, welcome back to Crawford Farms Entertainment. Now, a new character has been introduced into our story. Let's see how this thing plays out. Also, I'm using my teenage avatar. So, prior to 1997, I had hair, and now I don't. Thanks, coach. In this episode, you'll see that in sports, as well as in life, sometimes we play the role of David, and sometimes we play the role of Goliath. Sometimes our inner narrative has us as the protagonist, when in fact the outside world sees us as like a Gargamel or Skeletor. Sometimes it's a matter of perspective, and other times we're just some real jerks. I was so annoyed. I was suddenly doing well in wrestling, and then all of a sudden I have this new obligation.
No!
A girlfriend. Who has the time? I didn't have a car or anyone to drive me or money or anything like that. I could catch the bus, but it was a long way away. Plus, I really didn't want to. I did once, and it took so long. I got there, and I was sure hanging out with her would be enough for her to dump me and set me free. At one point, I remember we were standing by a lake near her apartment complex, and she thought it would be funny or cute or whatever if she tried to push me in. Now, she knew I couldn't swim, and plus it was cold by Florida standards. So what the heck? She tried to run off and slipped in the funniest fashion in a bunch of rocks, and I burst into laughter. And I was sure that this would end it, but nope, clearly this girl was insane. I didn't get it. As soon as I got home, she called, and I was like, what the heck, man? So I had no clue what was up with her. It was such a distraction from my training. To make matters worse, she was a manager on the wrestling team, and now at every freaking one of my matches and practices. I'm thinking to myself, when will Karate Boy come and take her back? My advice to all teenage athletes who are thinking about dating, just don't. So now my priorities are split. And for a dude with anxiety, that's not a good thing. Stuck on the phone instead of going for a run. This is before cell phones or text messages or even before AOL. So to communicate with anyone that wasn't in your house meant that you had to sit still on this banana-shaped device that was tethered to a wall by a cord. It was like being on a leash. We're going to try it a little bit different. This time we are not going to use an avatar. Wait, on that last one, they didn't even spell Lakeview right. This is going to be little old me with some other images in the background. So we'll see how that works out. Let me know in the comments what you think. We're going to continue with right where we left off, where we were talking about the introduction of this new character. All right. So now, at the time, I had grown a great deal as a person. I no longer got into fights. I considered myself an athlete, and that's what I identified as. I went to school and sometimes even did homework. Little did I know my life was about to get shaken up even more. So on my wrestling team, there was this girl, and that was already unusual. In the state of Florida, girls wrestling didn't exist yet, and it wasn't even in the Olympics yet. Aside from the fact that she was on the wrestling team, her personality was just off to me. She was nice to everyone, didn't curse, and never really talked crap about people. And that was really unusual where we grew up at. Now, even though I was going to school and not acting a fool anymore, I was still poor. I would leave school every day and see poverty and despair all around me. I kind of knew who else was experiencing the same trials and tribulations, and I expected them to act just like me, miserable. She wasn't at all like us. At one point, I confronted her and asked her what was wrong with her. Her response threw me for a loop. She started telling me about Jesus and asked if I was saved. I said, yeah, but I honestly didn't even know what that meant at the time. What she said about Jesus and faith and why she treated people the way that she did, it resonated with me. I hadn't been to church that I could remember outside of a funeral, except for when this church donated some gifts to us one Christmas. And we were young, I was just a little kid, and after they gave us the gifts, they invited us to church, and then they paraded us around like they had just bought us at a slave auction.
You didn't have to go there.
I had a super negative opinion of churches as a whole, but she got me thinking a little bit different. Now, my new feelings towards church wouldn't come into play until a little bit later on. but now I'm thinking like a Christian. Still not going to anyone's church, but I wanted to be a better person. However, I was, quote, dating a girl who is constantly talking about stuff that didn't fit into my new mindset. I was on the verge of growing a backbone and ending the relationship like a mature person when all of a sudden I was blessed with those dreaded words, "We need to talk." I could tell by her tone that she was about to dump me, and I had to hide my smile. The timing couldn't be more perfect. She explained the karate boy had called her and said something about he was glad that she was happy.
I know you told your friend you're not okay,
and wished that they could still be friends, but it hurt him too much. Now this dude was next level when it came to the whole pretty boy sensitive thing. I can imagine he was probably singing to her and stuff like that. She said she was conflicted and didn't want to lose him as a friend. I was thinking, what the heck? I'm losing this battle right now. She's not gonna break up. I need her to break up with me right now, not dump him as a friend. I explained to her, and this was my save right here, I explained to her that she probably still had feelings for him and that they should probably still be together. Now, remember, I'm still awkward, so I'm not telling you what I actually said or how I worded it. I definitely made it a lot weirder. Well, no matter how oddly I said it, it worked. She teared up, we hugged, and she turned the corner and walked away. I'm walking away, and suddenly I hear cheers and applause. Unbeknownst to me, there were a bunch of this chick and Karate Boy's friends within earshot, cheering because they heard that they were back together. Now, this was some bullcrap. So life is all about perspectives. In the story that was playing out in my head, I'm the hero, right? On a quest for self-discovery. But to this dude and his friends, I was like the Shogun of Harlem, and I had just kidnapped Lord Charles.
You don't look like no master to me.
Come on now, I'm trying to write this action adventure in my mind where I'm the hero. I guess I was the villain in this dude's romantic comedy. Either way, I'm free to train now. Now the season is winding down. I made it to the finals of the county wrestling tournament. I ended up placing in the district wrestling tournament, and that qualified me for the regional tournament. Things were really heating up. Would I be able to keep it together and qualify for the state meet? All right, so I'm gonna show you why I stopped using Chat GPT to animate my characters for this show. So watch what it does when I try and get it to generate something that looks like me. All right, generate an anime character that is, and I'm not using proper text or whatever. I'm not using proper grammar, and maybe that's what the problem is. Bald, African American, muscular, and has a beard. And see what it does. All right, so it's thinking. So it's creating the image. Let's see what it looks like. So I've noticed a few things that it does that it's not like typical anime where they draw black people with the big lips and everything like that. But for some reason, they always put an earring in this character's ear. Look at that. They did it again. Look at that. So I don't know why they always put the earring in. I've never worn an earring in my life. The cauliflower ear would kind of make it look crazy, but that was why I stopped. The guy looks nothing like me. I even tried once putting my picture into it, and it said that it can't make a image that looks like somebody else, or it can't cartoonize somebody, and I don't know why. I'll keep playing around with it. I'm just taking a break. We're not breaking up. It's not you. It's me, okay?
I have an idea. Maybe try typing in middle-aged black guy with a receding hairline and a dad bod.
Okay, AI presenter lady, you might really be on to something, but either way, you're getting deleted. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of this crazy tale of how I ended up being this old dude that watches cartoons and anime. Until the next time, stay super, my friends.